Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, yes, I got my hands on the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos palette, and today I will be creating 4 eyeshadow looks, giving you my full review, demo, swatches, all the details to know if this eyeshadow palette is for you. I even got myself on the waiting list for the launch of this new Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos eyeshadow palette. As soon as I saw that, it kind of pulled me in, and I was also intrigued because it says that it has some duochromes, and although I'm not a person that uses very loud kind of makeup in general, at times I like to play around with makeup, and this palette look really intriguing. It's made in USA. It does have a shelf life of 12 months, and it is available right now not only at Anastasia Beverly Hills website but other retailers. I will be leaving all those details, the rest of my makeup, my jewelry, etc. will be on the description box below for your convenience and easy shopping. If you're new here to my channel, welcome, and welcome to all of you, my beautiful friends. I film in natural light, so sometimes some people tell me, oh, it looks too bright, it looks too dark, or whatever it is. I just don't have control of the sun and the clouds and all of that. It's a nice, bright, sunny day, though. So, anyhow, friends, here it is. The Cosmos palette. It comes with a nice size mirror. These are the beautiful 12 shades in this new format that we saw first with that Nouveau palette. I think it was the first time that we saw this format from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It was first with the Nouveau palette, which is one of my very favorite palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Also, the outer packaging is not velvet anymore, but it's not texture like linen-like texture like, say, the Nouveau one. Is rather very soft, sleek, a very beautiful, very trendy kind of shade, which is this kind of like grayish bluish tone. I think it's very pretty. I think they did an excellent job with this shade and the palette inside. We have here just 5 matte shades, and then the rest are either duochrome, shimmer, what it seems like a matte with a sparkly blue called Galaxy. Let's go ahead and swatch it. I cannot wait to swatch it. Okay, here I got the 4 first shade. They feel exactly the same formula as the Nouveau palette in terms of like how thick they are. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. And you know, this shade is such a incredible summer shade. You don't need to get too complicated with the eyeshadow looks. Another really good summer shade, although it's a Cosmos palette inspired by the Cosmos. On camera you're looking at it and it looks pink, but in person from the side is gold. So this is definitely a duochrome. What's the name of this shade? So the first shade is Super Cluster, and the second shade is Sun. This next shade, Orion, sorry. And this one is, let's see, a pink. It does have some shimmer in it, and it seems like it has a little bit of lilac too. Oh, these shades look amazing. And then this gray shade called Mercury. Oh, that's a beautiful, look at that. Super smooth, creamy, gorgeous. Cluster and Galaxy. Ooh, this shade Galaxy. That's an amazing shade for a very like intense. Oh, look. Yes. Let's do cluster first. Okay, this is a duochrome. Let's see. On the viewfinder, I see that it has a little bit of green, but when I'm looking from above, I can see pink in it. So definitely, you see, there's a chip right there on this shade, and it's a little bit translucent. Wow, excuse me. This has a beautiful navy undertone with the little sparkles of blue. Wow. Wow. That's an incredible shade. If you want a smoky eye look that looks like spectacular, very impressed. Let's go for the matte shades. I have a Space Dust, Comet, and Eclipse. clips looks very beautiful and a little bit different from the usual that we see in most palettes because it's almost like an eggplant tone, but not a true eggplant tone. So Space Dust is kind of like your base. Then we have a warmer tone, Comet. Then we have, like I said, Eclipse. Beautiful matte shades. They are swatching great and they don't look patchy at all. Supernova, another duochrome. Yeah, you see it on the viewfinder. Seems like a little bit greenish, right? Yeah, a little bit greenish, but it does have lilac in it. Then a matte shade, Mars. Oh, that's a beautiful shade, but I can see that it has some fallout, or that it will have some fallout. And oh, this shade, Dark Matter. Very interesting shade. This has some purplish blue in it. That's very pretty. Okay, there you have it. These are the swatches. Let me just put it side by side so you can see it against the palette. I just swatched the duochromes on this side. You have to see them. They're stunning. They are stunning. I love to see them like this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. Put them on the side, but it's so good. I'm gonna go first with a Sonia G Classic Crease and the shade Space Dust. And I think this is gonna be my main shade for the eyeshadow looks. I mean, I don't have to use them in all of them, but I'm gonna use it above the crease. Sonia G Blender, and I'm gonna go into the shade Eclipse. And I'm taking it and packing it on the outer V. There's a dash of kickback on the pan, but it's a tiny amount. It's not severe, it's completely normal. So easy to blend, non-patchy, and also easy to intensify. Going with the shade Supernova. Yeah, Supernova is the one that has the lilac tone. This one actually is more pink, a little bit more yellowy golden tone. And I'm just going to apply this inner portion all the way until it meets with the other shade. That is stunning. Going back to the shade Space Dust. And I'm just going to blend in the edges. BK Beauty 204 brush, and I'm gonna go with the same shade, and I'm gonna take it on my lower lash line with a Sonia G flat definer. I'm gonna take the shade Eclipse. I'm gonna run it below my lower lash line on the outer third. And with that Tone 4 liquid eyeliner in black, and I'm gonna line my lash line. Gucci mascara. And on my waterline, I'm going to be using the Victoria Beckham Beauty Brightening Eye Pencil. And this is it. This is the first eyeshadow look. Super easy and not intimidating at all whatsoever. Now let's go for the next eyeshadow look. Space Dust once again. Sonia G Mini Booster, and let's go to the shade Comet. applying it on the outer third. Now with the same brush, I'm gonna go to the shade Mars, dust it off, and I'm applying it on the outer V. Sonia G Worker brush, and I'm gonna go to the shade Super Cluster. Stunning shade. And I'm finding some fallout with these shades, so I will say, honestly, I will prefer to use my finger, and with the warmth of my finger, I can press, get the most out of this eyeshadow too without having to go through the fallout. Then with the brush, I can actually soften the edges. I'm intrigued also by this shade Plaza, and I'm just taking it right in the center of the eyelid. BK Beauty 204 brush, and going into Space Dust lower lash line, and then Sonia G flat definer. I'm gonna go directly to the deepest shade Mars, and I'm gonna take it also on my lower lash line. Here it is, the second eyeshadow look. Let's go for the third eyeshadow look, and let's see. I think I wanna, no matter what, dust a little bit of a space dust on my eyelid, and I'm just gonna go all over the eyelid really quick, in a way to also set a little bit my concealer. So I'm using concealer on my eyelid, but yeah, that's all what I want to do there. And now I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna go with my BK Beauty 203 brush and go into the shade Dark Matter. You know, very deep shade. I'm gonna work on this shade on the outer third of my eyelid. It's building up really well, and I don't see patches, which that is a great sign. Right there and then. The Sonia G Builder Pro, I'm gonna go to the shade Galaxy, and I'm just gonna press. Smith 253 brush, I'm gonna go to the shade Mercury, and I'm gonna take it from the inner portion of the eyelid all the way until it meets with the Galaxy shade. Now, right on the center of the eyelid, I'm gonna go with this shade, which is called Super Cluster. It's a bluish tone shade, and I'm just gonna put it right on the center of the eyelid. BK Beauty 204 brush, shade of Space Dust. Again, I'm putting it on my lower lash line. I'm going to the shade Dark Matter with a Sonia G flat definer, and I'm gonna just take it on the lower lash line. I went ahead and applied some lashes. I don't know how well put they are. I tried my best, my friends. It has been a long time since I haven't applied any lashes on, but it was needed because of the smoky eye look. I'm gonna go with the shade Super Cluster. Beautiful shade, and I'm just gonna take it and apply it on the inner corner. And here you have it, friends, my third eyeshadow look, a little bit more of a smoky eye look with a Customs palette. Going again to a Space Dust, and I'm using a BK Beauty 201 brush. I'm gonna dust it above the crease, inner third. It's perfectly fine. And now I'm gonna go the shade Comet, and I'm using a Sonia G Classic Crease brush. By the way, all the brushes, I'm gonna also list them on the description box below. With a Sonia G Mini Booster, I'm gonna go to the shade Mars, which is this reddish brown tone and applying it on the outer third of the eyelid. Smith 253 brush, I'm gonna go to the shade Sun, and I'm gonna apply it on the inner third of the eyelid. And then I'm gonna use the same brush and just gonna turn it to the clean side, and I'm gonna go to the shade Orion, and I'm gonna apply it on the center of the eyelid. BK Beauty 204 brush, and then again, let's go to Space Dust. Synergy Mini Booster, the shade Mars. And I'm going to take it on the outer third of the lower lash line. BK Beauty 210 brush, I'm going to go to the shade Sun. And I'm just going to emphasize it on the inner corner. It is the same shade that I have on the inner third, but I just want to make sure it gets there. I have my dark under eye circles too. I went ahead and applied lashes, eyeliner, and here it is, the last and fourth eyeshadow look with that Cosmos eyeshadow palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really enjoy this last eyeshadow look too, because it has that beautiful like tone of peachy, and then going into the pink with golden little specks, and then the warmth to it. I think it's really fun. The entire eyeshadow palette is a lot of fun. It can take you from very like loud, bolder kind of eyeshadow looks if you decide to use any of the duochromes to, you know, you can just do very simple, easy everyday eyeshadow looks to using these shades right here, using the matte shades, so you don't have to go bold and wild. I basically wanted it to try each of the eyeshadows on this palette to see the formulation. So the formula of the matte shades are the same that we find in the Nouveau palette. There is no kickback, no really fallout. It's a very easy to blend formulation without fuss. There's no patchiness. You don't have to go over and over and over again. If you want to pack more of the eyeshadow, you can easily. Now, which eyeshadows I found a little bit of fallout? I will say this shade Galaxy, just a tiny bit, but not by much. And definitely the shade Orion, which is this pink shade right here, kind of like in the middle. Those are the shades, well, mostly this one is the one that I find out a little bit of fallout, but not to the extent that you're not able to fix it. So if you already had makeup on like myself, you can definitely dust it off. I dusted off with one of my Redford 20 brushes, and it was just super easy. It didn't leave me any marks. All the eyeshadows were super easy to apply. And in terms of the metallic duochrome shades, I will suggest, I mean, I know not a lot of people like to use their fingers, but I will highly suggest to use your fingers to apply them. And if you don't use your fingers, then use a brush and wet it with, say, some Matte Fix Plus or whatever other kind of a sprays, or even water, but just something that is not going to fall out, but it's just a little bit easier on application, and you get the most out of such eyeshadow. The formulas in general are really well done. If anything, this shade, which is the darker shade, it feels a little bit drier of the matte shades if we compare with the other shades. Just tiny bit drier, but it didn't it performed just as the other ones. It's not like it doesn't perform as well or anything like that. I mean, you have seen it on camera. This shade right here, I'm really impressed, although I wish to see a little bit more navy in there. Because when it translates on the eyelid, then you start losing a little bit of the sparkles. The sparkles are there, but not as much as I wish. I wish that there was even a little bit more. Although I was impressed at the beginning, I'm like, yeah, but the sparkles are not really all the way there. In general, the eyeshadow palette is stunning. Oh, another thing that I like about this eyeshadow palette is look how dirty it is. And I just have a little Clorox wipe right here. And look, just gonna pass it. It's not a paper, so it's not, I mean, like, it's super easy to wipe and clean it, which I find to be super helpful. And, just in general, to be more sanitary, to have, a little wipe or, tissue paper that you can wipe it off. I think that's great too. So what I think about this eyeshadow palette, I think ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills, I really love how she does her color stories. I really enjoy it. Although it kind of reminds me a little bit to the Carly Bible palette, just a little bit. Perhaps it's the shade right here that is, like, I'm thinking about these two shades, but I mean, in general, I think it is a unique palette for ABH. It is a beautiful palette. We have seen this tone right here multiple times. This tone is kind of like your base, but in general, it's a very nice, well-curated palette, and I really love the performance, the versatility of these palettes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It always impressed me, even from her Soft Glam palette, a palette that may look boring for many. It performs so well. Mother Renaissance, the same thing. I mean, like, it is very, very special, the palette. And I mean, if you have been eyeing it and this is a color story for you and you think you will wear most of these shades, go ahead. Completely fabulous palette. If I have a preference on another palette, Nouveau palette is my palette, because that one I can use it like day, night, and whatever time I want to. This one is a little bit more glam, although you can definitely achieve everyday looks with it. So anyhow, friends, this makes it for this video. I would love to hear from you. Are you excited about this Cosmos palette? Did you went ahead and picked it up already? You're like, oh, I have to get it, or you are adding it to cart immediately right now. Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below while you're at it. And if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. It will be incredible, and I will greatly appreciate if you can come and follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. If you like this video, please, it will be so helpful for all the time that I have been doing all these eyeshadows, the time of editing. Do me a favor, just give it a thumbs up. That will help a lot so YouTube can push it out and more people get to know this our beauty family. And if you're not done watching my content, I will leave in a couple other videos right here that I'm sure you're gonna love. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye bye.